Good morning, everyone. It is the 31st of January, so we're nearly in February. Good, don't know. My name's Gareth, or BigFriendlyWarGamer. I've been called other things in the past, but we won't go into that. And I'm going to sit here and paint for about an hour and talk my normal crap into the camera. So I'm going to start this week with showing you what I've finished in the past week, because why not? I'm quite proud of them. Well, proud of them. No, they're finished. Got these guys, which are my Necron Lich Guard. I've got 5 of these, which are they've got big swords and shields. They're futuristic. Necrons are like androids. So I've got 5 of them. I've got 3 Necron warriors that I've completed as well. Pretty cool. And what I finished yesterday while I was bodging my video is I've got this Blood Angel Legion Centurion, and I got his Praetor to go with him as well. So if you've been watching my videos, you saw me painting these last week, and yeah, they're finished now. So it's put my tally for the year to 17 so far, which means I'm on track for where I wanted to be. I wanted to paint 201 models. If I keep 17 a month, I'll be on 204. So, and it's totally doable. I mean, the other things I've got on my desk is I've got this, which is, it goes like that. It's a gun turret basically, but a battle cannon. Which I actually painted that on the video that I done yesterday, all the gold. So I'm not cheating, honestly. And I've also got more Necron warriors, which are on my little cork things. They're base coated, and that's it. I note they're shaded as well. And I've got these new guys that I'm starting. These are called Bloodletters. And basically, they are Chaos Demons. I was considering not painting them red, because all of them have reds. They have red skin in most of the pictures and stuff. And I was considering not painting them red, but I just couldn't come up with another paint scheme. So I went with red. What can you do? So basically, these have they've been spray painted, and I spray painted them straight Mephiston red. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shade them. So they got the base colours down. I'm pretty sure I know the colour scheme that I want to do with them. So, and I'm using Agrax Earthshade to shade them. And basically I'm going to start talking about my week. So the week's been okay. I had a good game at my gaming club, which was thank you to my opponent. It's a very, very cool game. Which I actually fully recorded. I set my tripod up, my camera on a tripod, and I just let it record the whole game. And I want to use it as a base for learning to edit videos. So hopefully I can take the channel a bit further than just these sitting and painting. There are people that are at my club that would like to help out with this, and thank you if you are willing to help. But I learn by doing things myself. That's why I don't sit and watch these how to play 40k. I just play the game, and I learn the rules, I learn the armies by me doing, and I've always been like that. So thank you for your offers of help, and it's appreciated. It is appreciated. It's not appreciated. I need to do this myself, because otherwise I won't take it in. If someone else is telling me how to do stuff, it doesn't sink in. I have to physically do it. So yeah, I will be learning how to edit videos, and it won't be anytime soon. The video that I recorded probably won't go up for a month or so, but there's no rush. I've got a week off in March, and I plan to muck about with the video then, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And but yeah, the week's been fairly good. Work was work, as it always is work. So it's number 1 shaded. It just gives you a bit of definition on him. I'm not showing the sword because I'm going to repaint the sword. I want to paint it either a bronze or a gold. I'm not sure yet. And this shading is purely because it will give me the recesses. It'll give the shade into the recesses, and it will allow me to put layers down. Now I've missed some patches of these with the spray paint, but I'm not too bothered because it seems to be like the raised areas I've slightly missed, which is okay because they're going to get another layer of paint anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And this is my new army I've started for the Malign Portents campaign that Games Workshop's running, and it was basically a starter set. So I've got 10 of these. I've got 3 guys like this, but they're riding like big mechanical beasts. They're called Juggernauts. And then I've got this other thing, which I started building and I kept putting it down because I wasn't sure, because it's a dual kit, you can build it 2 ways. I wasn't sure which way I was going to build it, but I did build it. I finished building it yesterday morning, and then I've sprayed it, and I've made it as a blood throne because I like the guy riding on top of it. It looks pretty cool. So yeah, but yeah, so the past week is work. I don't want to talk about work too much. I did this yesterday, this video, and my battery died about 40 minutes in. So I deleted it all and I started again. And I spent like 15 or 20 minutes ranting about work and about companies treating their employees bad, and I'm not going to do that again today because I'm sick of moaning. So yeah, I'm going to talk about my hobby more. So the game on Monday, I won't mention the guy's name because I don't know how people will take me mentioning names on YouTube and stuff. So that's why I don't mention names if I remember to not mention names. But he knows who it was that I played, and we had a really close game. I didn't think it'd be that close because he was playing Grey Knights, who I've struggled against before, and I was playing Necrons. Grey Knights have a codex, Necrons don't. So Necrons are getting one soon, and they need one. They really need one. If you don't know 40k, a codex is basically, it describes all the rules for the army. It gives you stratagems and it gives you psychic powers, although Necrons don't have psychic powers. It basically focuses on just your army, just that one army. Whereas the index that my Necrons are using, it's a generic book that has like 6 or 7 armies in. So it's not specialised for one particular army. Which means it's a lot more general, and like Necrons didn't do too well in the transition between 7th and 8th edition. That they're okay, but as I keep saying to my opponents, the thing is with Necrons, they have one defining rule, and it's the reanimation protocols. Certain other units have other rules and stuff like that, but their one defining thing is reanimation. Basically, they come back to life. The downside is they only come back to life if there's still some of the squad there. So you've got enough firepower to wipe out a whole squad, that reanimation protocols, it has no effect on the game at all. So your one defining rule doesn't come into play if you have squads wiped out, which it's a bit harsh, especially when like everyone else's defining rules for their armies are in constant play. Like, see, I don't know the other armies. Blood Angels, their defining rule is when they charge, they add 1 to their wound rolls. Makes them quite powerful when they actually manage to pull a charge off. And there's nothing that stops that. But with Necrons, their one defining rule, if you annihilate squads, then it doesn't happen. And probably the better example is Death Guard. Death Guard have a rule called Disgustingly Resilient. And basically what happens is, every time they take a wound of any kind, they roll a dice. On a 5 or 6, they ignore it. Now, I could see Necrons getting something like that, which is back to the old 7th edition way, which I wouldn't mind. It would make them tougher. But with how powerful some of the races in 40k are, I could actually see them keeping their reanimation protocols as well, and maybe having a 6-up dice roll to ignore wounds. And people will cry that that's overpowered and whatever, but Necrons are supposed to be tough. They're not supposed to just die in droves like they do. And when they do die in droves, they're supposed to come back. You know? So it's very characterful for the army to get something like that. And I'm pretty sure they won't get that. Because Necrons had their power phase. They had their time at being the most powerful army. I don't think they'll be that again. So, but it'll be interesting to see what we get. Either way, I'll play the army. I'm not fussed. I mean, I don't collect armies to be powerful. I collect armies because, firstly, I want to paint them, and secondly, because I like their background and lore. So, yeah, we'll see. Now I'm just got this guy. This is the last one I've got. Basically, I've got 5 of them. I've got another 5 in the box there, which is behind me. And I've got the Blood Crushers in the box behind me as well. So that's that 5 shaded. So while I'm waiting for that to dry, I will shade this turret thing. Because it actually uses the same shade paint, and I'm dropping Bloodletters. So yeah, I'm just gonna carry on painting. So yeah, like I said, I'm not overly fussed with what they get. I'll play the army no matter what. But it would be nice if I don't lose every single game. I think I've won 2 games with Necrons in 8th edition. I've played about 15, 16, and I want to say that's not a reflection on me as a player, but it is, because I don't play the really powerful stuff, which, like, if I played the really powerful stuff, I wouldn't be me. So I'm not gonna start playing the cheesy, dirty stuff just so I can win games. Nah. I'd rather win games purely because I've actually played well, rather than what I've brought to the game. So yeah. But yeah, also at the club on Monday, I rebuilt the old red terrain, I've always called it. Basically, it's like a ruined industrial complex, and it had got quite battered over the years of use, and it was falling apart. So basically, I went and I've rebuilt it. I sprayed it silver, so it looks like the Underhive or whatever now. Sprayed it silver and rebuilt it, and I think it looks pretty cool. There's not quite as much there as there used to be, but I've given it height instead, so it's like there's some 3-story buildings and stuff like that. and it could be combined with another set to make a really good Necromunda board. And because we're looking at more terrain, I think. Yeah, I don't see why we wouldn't. So yeah, so that was quite good. I also started building. I fully built a Vindicator for my Chaos Army, because this big game that we've got arranged in Watford. I need to get an army built for it. We need to get some stuff arranged for it as well, because it's like a month away. So I think we were going to get a minibus down there, but I've still got to talk to the other guys. We'll see what we do. Between us we can organise something. So yeah, so I was it last weekend, not last weekend, weekend before, I actually went and bought a load of bits for the Chaos Army. So one was a Vindicator, one was a Defiler, and I've got a big kit called a Lord of Skulls. And I've actually got a game with all this stuff on next Monday against one of the guys that is going with me to the big game. He's playing Chaos as well. He always plays Chaos. He doesn't play anything else. It's fine. So it's about me learning the army, and I'm doing it through having a lot on the table so I can learn everything. Basically what I'm going to do is over the next couple of weeks, because I don't know, I've only played a few games with Chaos, and I've played no games in 8th edition with Chaos. I'm going to basically make some cheat sheets for myself, so that I've got army unit stats and rules in front of me while I'm playing the big game. Because with Apocalypse you have to know your army fairly well. If you're flicking through rule books all the time, it's not good, because you have to be quick. You've got limited time turns, so yeah, you got to kind of push yourself to get everything done in time. And I'm not going to say this is going to be the biggest game I've ever played. I don't think it is. So I know I can handle that size of an army. It's not a problem. I think my 250 power works out at about 5,000 points. And I know that I've put 7,500 points on the table before. Probably more than that actually. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to the game, and the game's actually on my birthday, so Saturday the 3rd. So it'll be cool playing Apocalypse, and I don't know. The thing is that the place we're going, I don't know it. The club in Watford, I don't know it at all. So I don't know if there's a bar there, or there's drinks or anything like that. I don't know any of that. So I'll have to ask, because it's me and this other guy, the guy I played on Monday, which are organising the big game. So we'll have to ask him. I don't think they've actually moved into their new. It's basically it's another gaming club. Excuse me. So I need to start asking him a few questions, but I'm sure it'll be fine. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the game on Monday as well, because the guy I'm playing, we've been helping run this club now for a few years. I've known the guy for 5 years now, and every now and then we have a big game, and generally speaking, he absolutely beats me. But you never know, might be able to turn it around this time. And we've got a little narrative running for it as well. It's basically the build up for the big game in Watford, and like our two main characters, he's bringing a Primarch called Mortarion, big flying scary beastie monster thingy. He's one of the guys that's in 30k in the Heresy games, he's Mortarion, his name is. I think I've said that already, repeating myself, but and it's about when he swore allegiance to Abaddon, who's my special character. And it's not necessarily going to be that that's going to be the way the game goes, because Abaddon's not a Primarch. Primarchs are like the fathers of the Space Marine legions. They're very powerful, genetically engineered superhumans, and they're way above the Space Marines. Space Marines are like superhuman as well, but the Primarchs are way above that. So I don't know. I don't have any idea how the game's going to go, but it should be a bit of a laugh. And we're playing 4,000 points, which is quite a big game. I've got to actually figure out how I'm going to get my army there, which should be entertaining. Probably end up getting a cab again or something, but we'll see. And I've still got stuff I've got to build for it, so I don't think I'm going to get much painting done at the weekend. But we will see. I might get some done. You never know. And I actually tried something out this past week. Because I go for long walks on Saturdays, because Saturdays were always my day where I just vegged in front of the computer or telly or my iPad or something, and I didn't really do anything. So it's basically after a long week at work, I didn't want to do anything. So I've been pushing myself to go for walks. I've probably stated this many times on these sit and talks. Sit and paints. Sorry, I'm not talking. I am talking, but you know what I mean. But this week, because I've been finding that I can't, like, once I've done my walk on a Saturday, I'm done. I'm like, I don't want to do anything. I just want to veg. I was pushing myself to play the guitar for an hour, but I was so tired, and like I was falling asleep all day and that kind of thing. So I've decided to do something a bit different and walk home from work on a Saturday morning. Now, bear in mind it's about a 5 mile walk. It takes me about an hour. It took me an hour and 5 minutes last Saturday. But I then managed to get a full day's painting in on Saturday. I didn't do my guitar because, like, I just wasn't in the mood for it. I just wanted to paint. I needed to get some painting time done, and it helps because I've got 8 models finished. I've got the 2 Blood Angel characters nearly finished, and which I finished yesterday. And because I was really lagging behind with my painting, I've set myself a target. I want to hit 200, paint 201 models for the year, because for the last 2 years I've painted 200 models a year. So I wanted to beat that, and I was on 7 models last week. I'd only painted 7. I bits and pieces of others that I'd started, but I painted 7. So I pushed myself. I painted most of the day Saturday. I painted most of the day well, I didn't. I painted some of the day Sunday because we were looking after my nieces, which was funny. I've got some silly videos of us mucking about, so that was cool. And they were mucking about with my guitar as well, so I kind of got a little bit of guitar played, but not really. So yeah, it's been cool. But now I'm back on track with the painting, because painting 17 models a month will hit my target for the year and break it by 3, I think. So it'll put me on 204 models, and that's not me doing maths because I'm fucking useless at maths. most of the time. That's because I've worked it out on the calculator and that. Actually, I did it through my iPad. I asked Siri to multiply for me. That's how lazy I've got. It's not lazy. It's just using your technology to its maximum. Right, so that's the base of that shaded as well now. That's going to take forever to dry, so I probably won't touch that again this session. My Bloodletters are still drying as well. So I probably won't be touching them anymore this session. So we're going to paint the start painting the gun turret, the actual turret that goes on top of the gun. This bit here. If I can pick this up without, it should be okay. That can go there. That's cool. Okay, let's shut that because I don't want to knock it over. And I have got another one of these, which is that one. I want to get this finished today, but I don't think I will. It is a bit dusty. If I get this finished today, I'll puts me on 18 models for the year, the month, and year, whatever. So yeah, so fingers crossed I can get this done. The base bit, basically all it needs now is I need to paint the hatch a silver, and it's finished. Silver and then shade it. I don't want silver, I want gold. So I'm going to start painting this, and we'll start with the gold on it. Yeah, it's collected a little bit of dust, but it shouldn't affect it too much. There's rubbish in there. Let's shake this up a bit more. Okay. And if I can get this one finished as well, I'll be really happy with that. But I don't think I will. Because like I said, that's got the ink on that is quite a lot. I mean, most people say that I shouldn't put that much ink on it, but it's for a reason. I want the weathered gold effect, and you need a lot of ink to get that. So it's just gonna sit and dry now. Hopefully it's not going to actually leak onto my laptop. I should have put it on a bit of paper actually. So let's do and put it on there. So I've tried a few things last week. It's a bit of rubbish paper, and it's not leaked onto my laptop. It's fine. I tried doing new bases because for the Blood Angels I was going to do something different, and I ended up not. So I did that, and that is basically texture paint with sand on. And texture paint works as really good glue, and that's texture paint with grass. And I was considering doing. I've finished with that one now. I was considering doing the Bloodletters bases in a different colour, and then realised that I've started painting my Cow Space Marines the grey bases. So I want to do. I think I'm doing the sand. I think the sand will look pretty cool, and it will help the model a little bit as well. But we'll see. They're a while away from being based yet anyway, so we will see. It's weird. When I was when I got back from the club on Monday, because carrying that amount of stuff, I had to get a cab home. I was like, I'm not carrying that on a bus. I was like carrying a lamp, I was carrying a big bag, I was carrying a couple of boxes, and I had my rucksack, and I was like, oh, yeah, let's just get a cab home. I did that. I got it all home and whatever, and I started watching back the video I recorded at the club of the game, and I think the sound quality is pretty good, and the picture's pretty good. Like, you see most of the battlefield. I wanted to catch the dice rolls, because I was rolling them under the camera, and I haven't quite caught that. And I think my tripod. I need a better tripod, because this is just it's a tripod from a photo box, a light box. So yeah, I think I'll have to get myself a tripod, a decent one, but they're quite expensive. So for now, this one will do. It works perfectly well. Just realise I'm not on an actual camera very much. So yeah, it's I'm actually looking forward to learning to video edit. Like, I'm not going to be a pro at it or anything, you know, but learning a new skill is good. It might help me branch out into another job, because I'm sick of my job. But we're not going to go there this week. It just might open up other avenues if I can teach myself how to do this stuff. I mean, I'm not young. I'm 30. I'm going to be 37 in a month. And the idea of changing career paths is, like, I'm not in a career anyway. I just do a job. But the idea of doing something completely different is exciting, but it's also scary. I want to say I don't react to change very well, but I think I do. At least I think I do. Maybe other people wouldn't think I do. Don't think I do, but that's what other people's opinions. It doesn't really matter to me, does it? So yeah, so doing something new is cool, and I'd like to see if I can actually find a job where I'm doing something like this. Maybe not specifically this, sitting and painting in front of a camera, but the video editing. Like, I've got no qualifications. I've never done video editing before in my life. I did photography when I was at school, and I did art classes when I was at school. I did higher education in art, which I didn't complete the course because the actual course was a load of crap. This is back when we had GMVQs, and everything was, well, now that you've completed that project, write an evaluation as to why you did it that way. And like, I found it quite weird that my teachers thought that was a good thing, because art isn't something that is planned a lot of the time. It's not structured. You just do it. And as much as people say that what I'm doing here isn't art, it is. It's a painting. It's painting. Painting's an art. It doesn't matter whether it's 2D, 3D, whatever. It's an art form. And people will say, yeah, but you're painting like hobby miniatures. It's a hobby. Blah blah blah. But isn't all art a hobby? Like, if you didn't enjoy doing it, you wouldn't do it. You wouldn't paint because you're good, but you hate doing it. That's not going to happen. So I consider it an art. I am an artist. But I used to draw a lot as well. I don't draw anymore, apart from the odd scribble and doodle, like when I'm bored at work. But I don't draw anymore. I get what I need through painting, and I'm more than happy with that. I'm not going to blow my own trumpet and say my painting is great, it's brilliant or whatever. Like, I make mistakes, I make errors, and sometimes I look at something and I'm like, whoa, that's really shit, I've got to repaint that. And I've stripped models before, so my painting's not perfect, and like you get a lot of people who, like, I had one guy, was it at the club on Monday or the week before, he was saying he'd love to get to my level of painting. Like, he's quite a young guy from what I gather. I don't know people's ages, I can't judge ages, I'm really bad at it. But it's all just practice. Like, it's really good now that you've got so many outlets. You've got YouTube, you've got like Warhammer community page, and you get the stuff in White Dwarf, how to paint Citadel miniatures and stuff like that. And I know other people paint, do like how to paint models, and you've got other companies and stuff, but I stick with Games Workshop because it's what I know. Like he was saying, like he wants to get to my level of painting, and I'm like, my painting's not brilliant. It's not going to win me any awards, but it's good enough for me. And I just said, that's at the end of the day, that's all you got to do. Get to a level of painting that's good enough for you. And like, if you can put it on a battlefield and say, oh, I've painted that, I'm very happy with that. You can just stop there. Like, and some people will say, oh, it's not fully painted because it's only partially done. It's base coated and blah blah blah. If you're happy with it, you're happy with it. So it doesn't matter what other people say. And like I've said before, I play with unpainted models. It doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me in the slightest. But it does bother some people. And each to their own. I'm not going to criticise anyone or anything. But like I said, I enjoy painting, so I keep painting. There ever comes a time when it becomes too much and it becomes a bit of a chore, and other life things take over, I could drop it, it's fine. I've got other things that I do, like playing my guitar, and I like football. For those of you who don't know, I'm a Man U fan. And I get judged for that quite a lot, but I don't care. It's other people's opinions, whatever. So yeah, it's painting is a personal thing. Like, I know people do it as a community, and some people do it in groups and whatever, but it's personal to me. So I paint to the standard I want to paint to, and like some people, I'm not going to say I'm admired for my painting, not at all. So, but some people are like I said, they want to get to my level of painting. It's just practice. Once you've painted 140 Space Marines or 160 Space Marines, you're going to know how to actually paint them. And I mean, the armies that I have at the moment weren't my first armies by any amount. I mean, I'm currently on painting my second Blood Angel army and building a third. In my eyes, anyway, because I had to sell my original one like years ago. And my Space Wolves, I had a decent sized Space Wolf army, which was all nicely converted, and I had green stuff sculpted on it and stuff like that. And I sold it to pay bills, which this is something else that come up at the club about selling off your collection when you don't need it and stuff like that. And I just refuse to do that now. Like, I will not sell models unless I would rather give them away and know they're going to get use. Excuse me, I really need a drink. But yeah, I would rather give them away to people I know that are going to use them. And I actually have my drink with me today for a change. Okay, so we've got about another about half an hour or so. I'm hoping to get the gold finished on here, but I won't because it needs a second coat. But I'm going to keep painting afterwards as well, because I want to get as much painting done at the moment as I can, because things keep cropping up and getting in the way. And it is life, it happens. But I want to keep going. Like one of the YouTubers I follow, Mini Wargamer J, his name is. He's given himself a promise to complete an army and then move on to another army, and he wants to clear out his whole unpainted collection. I'm never going to do that. Like my unpainted collection, if I had it out of cases, I couldn't put it all on the table. I mean, I was talking at the club about how my Blood Angels alone for 40k, I could probably put them on one of the battlefields at the club, and it'd fit. But I have no table at home that would hold it all. So yeah, it's not going to happen. I'm always going to have unpainted stuff, and I'm fine with it. But it's good, because then if it ever comes a time when I'm hard up for money, I don't have to buy stuff to actually have stuff to paint. And to me, having stuff to paint is more important than buying new stuff. So I'm happy with that. So this gold, the shade is still drying. There's still plenty of wet patches on the shade, so I can't. I think I'm just going to end up painting this for the rest of the session, which it probably means I won't get this finished today, but I may get the gold finished, the second layer as well, and hopefully get it shaded. Then it's just a case of finishing the painting the metal, the silver, and reapplying the black, and the thing's done. The silver will need shading as well, but that's not going to take long. So there's very little silver on here. Like the gun barrel is going to be silver, and part of the actual gun itself is going to be silver. Painting the black in will probably take a bit longer, but that's fine. So yeah, so with the Bloodletters, the Corn Army that I've started collecting, it's for this global campaign, Malign Portents, and basically it's the rise of the undead. Well, from what I gather, it's the rise of the undead. And as much as my Chaos Demons are bad guys most of the time, they're actually acting as good guys at the moment, kind of, because they don't want death to overtake the world. Because basically the way that demons work in 30k in Games Workshop games like Warhammer 40,000, Age of Sigmar, Warhammer 40,000 I said, didn't I? Yeah. They're basically manifestations of emotions, which mortal emotions. So if death takes over the world, there will be no more emotions, so there'll be no demons. So the demons are actually fighting to hold death back, from what I gather. So it'll be a bit weird, me playing a demon army and then being good guys, but that's okay, that's fine. It should be a bit of a laugh. And it's roughly, it looks like people at the club are roughly 50-50. You've got a number of people who are starting undead armies and a number of people that are starting other armies, because it is basically undead against everyone else. So it should be cool, and like there's nothing actually arranged at the club as such yet for this, because Games Workshop are playing a lot of their cards close to their chest as to the campaign, what it is. At the moment we're just in the get your forces ready stage, which is what I am painting them. Like the whole build up for it was the first month, I think it was, which I started a little bit late. I've got till the 11th of February, I think, to get these painted, which they're quite an easy paint scheme, I think, so it shouldn't take that long. Yeah, to get this start collecting box painted, and then it's the next thing comes out that we need to go and get, which is the Harbinger, which for Chaos is I can't remember what she's actually called, but she is she's basically a chaos worshipper, but she's a queen, Dark Oath queen, I think she is. I could be totally wrong. Which, if you follow my Instagram page, which I would love to be able to learn how to put like annotations and stuff, so you can click on my links and whatever. Like I don't have any clue how to do that. But last year I painted a Dark Oath Chieftain from Silver Tower. It's a dungeon crawler game. And basically the I think she's called the Dark Oath Queen, I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, she is his rival, right? And I want to turn it around to make my own little bit of fluff to say that they're a married couple and they're raising demons and stuff. They're summoning demons, because it would work. So I think I'm going to do that. So I'm going to have, my next stage is going to be the Dark Oath Queen. I'm going to keep calling her that because that's probably not what she is, but anyway. So I'm going to be buying her, and then I think it's a week or 2 weeks after is the next stage. And basically I'm going to buy another Dark Oath Chieftain, and I'm going to paint them as a couple. And like, cause they're devoted to Khorne, which Khorne is one of the chaos gods that is the representation of rage and fury and bloodlust and all that kind of goodness. They're not going to be like a happily married couple. They're going to be a couple that go out and pillage and burn and destroy and that kind of stuff. So they're going to be like one-upping each other all the time, so it'll be quite funny. And I love that I can write my own little bit of people call it fluff, but it's lore behind my army, and I do it quite a lot. I was playing on the game I played on Monday using my Necrons. My overlord is called Megacron. As if you know Transformers, Megatron. There is a reason behind it. I can't remember what it is. But he's been going for a while now. He gained his name back in 6th edition, which was about, I want to say like 6 years ago. Maybe 5 years ago. I can't remember. But his sidekick is Starscream as well, because he gained his name because he was just, it seemed obvious, he was second in command, and he had this thing called Veil of Darkness, which let him deep strike onto the table. And back in 6th and 7th edition, you had to roll for your reserves. And that guy never come on the table till like turn 4. Like, he was just forever failing his reserve rolls. And so yeah, he gained the name Starscream. And if you look at the model, like, but you can't see it because I haven't got it here. He's basically got a little button on his thigh, and basically he was built out of one of these. He was built out of a warrior, but I kit bashed him a little bit. And so on his thigh, which is, it'll be like up here, on here somewhere. He's got like an escape button. It's a button he's just pushing to try and get away from the enemy. And yeah, so it was pretty cool. It was funny. And basically I kit bashed him because at the time the Necrons only had one Cryptek model and he had no options. You couldn't, make him look different or anything like that. And I owned one anyway, but I wanted a second, so I kit based one, and I use him more than the actual model, the Games Workshop model. I use him all the time. So yeah, it's I have got other characters as well, but they haven't really got developed stories yet. My Lord is called Shockwave and Soundwave. I've got 2 of them, and I have a Destroyer Lord who's going to be Galvacron, but he hasn't really gained his name yet. He doesn't seem to do a lot anymore, especially in 8th edition. He seems a bit pants. So I've got about 10 minutes left of this. Sit and chat rubbish video. So what I'm going to basically do is, I don't want to start another layer on this because then I have to stop the camera and I've got to start putting it onto my laptop. I've still got the other thing, the the game that I played the other day to render and edit and whatever. So basically what I'm going to show you is these demons. So you've seen the Bloodletters, which are, they're not on camera at all. So there's these 5 here. Let's get rid of, put that paint out of the way, and the turret can come over here. So you've got these 5 guys, right? And I've got another 5, which are 1, 2, 3, 4, and the big icon bearer. He has a big banner thingy. So that's a unit of 10, right? So I have another unit of these which are here, which aren't undercoated yet. But I work in batches. I don't really do squads of 10 or 20 or whatever at a time. I work in 3s and 5s. I don't know why 3s. It's just with Necron Warriors, 3s work for me. And then you got these guys, and these are the same guys there. Ooh, and I've knocked them all over the place, except they're riding the big mechanical beasts. They're called Juggernauts. So this guy is a musician. He's got a horn. Basically what he does, I'm not too sure in Age of Sigmar, but in 40k, if you lose models and you have this thing you pass morale, that basically the guys can run away. If you roll a 1, then more models come back. This is the champion of the unit. I really love that pose. The fact he's barely riding it, he's just standing, and his big sword. Sword is huge, right? And then they have an icon bearer as well. So this is the icon bearer. And again, the Juggernauts are awesome. I actually have 9 like human soldiers riding Juggernauts as well, but I don't know if I'll use them. And then we got this thing. Now this probably won't show up very well on camera because it is just red at the moment. This is called a Blood Throne, and basically you've got the 2 guys that are the chariot crew. This is basically a chariot with a rider, and you got this guy on top. He's a herald, and he's basically going to lead my army. So that's my little Khorne demon force at the moment. And so I've got the 5 Bloodletters shaded. I may actually carry on shading purely because it's something quick to do. So I may shade the other 5 actually. Because the turret I've got to leave to dry for a little bit. And yeah, this I can get done in the next 10 minutes or so. So we go Agrax Earthshade again, and we switch our water pots back because I don't like contaminating my paints with little flecks of metal. So yeah, and I have other plans of what I want to do with the army. Like there's one model called a Bloodthirster, and this thing is huge. But there's 4 different variants of it. You've got the Bloodthirster of Unfettered Rage or Unfettered Fury. I can't remember the names of them, but then there's a character one called Scarbrand, and he's a separate kit. Like the other three, you can make from one kit. You can make a choice of them, one or the other from one kit. But Scarbrand comes as his own kit, and to me, that is such a better model than the actual other Bloodthirsters. Sorry, don't get me wrong, the Bloodthirsters are really nice models, and I will probably end up with more than one, but I want Scarbrand. But then he also fits into my Blood Angel lore as well, because Scarbrand is the bane of... No, it's not. It's Cabadana, or whatever his name is. But Scarbrand's awesome. Scarbrand is really awesome. So, I'm pretty sure I'm going to get him rather than another Bloodthirster. At what point, I don't know. I just have to see how the army progresses. And I want to try and keep this, that I don't buy more until what I've got is painted. I've been wanting to do that with armies for ages, and I've never stuck to it. But I'm going to try and stick to it with my demons. And the really good pulling point with demons at the moment is the fact that they can be used in Age of Sigmar, 40k, and very soon they'll be usable in 30k Heresy games as well. So, like, they're a generic army you could take to a venue, and whichever game you play, you will you'll be able to use that army. And I quite like that, because sometimes when you go to a club and you've got a game arranged, people drop out, and you can then turn around and say, well, I'll tell you what, there's no one here to play 40k against. Does anyone want to play Age of Sigmar? Or anyone want to play 30k? And I don't want to get this army too big either. I'm going to keep it around 3,000 points, because as much as 2,000 points or less is what Age of Sigmar and 40k is played at, 30k is generally played at 3,000 points, so I'm going to go to 3,000 points. And I may switch in a few models here and there, because there's a Forge World demon that I quite like, and I can't remember his name. He's the big stalking red one. That sounds like not a great way to sell him, a big stalking red one, but there you go. And I will get him at some point, I'm sure. Not yet though. Not yet. And I have a few demons already. Some well, I have two. They're demon princes. So they may get seconded to this army, because they're mainly for my Black Legion, Chaos Space Marines. But basically these guys are going to have, like, the Bloodletters themselves have no armour. But as you've seen with the Juggernauts and the Blood Throne, they have armour plates and stuff. And the armour plates are going to be painted black with a gold trim, just like my Chaos Space Marines. So the actual Demon Prince, one of the Demon Prince models I have, will fit this army perfectly, because he's got red skin, he's got black armour, and he's got gold trim. So yeah, it will fit perfectly. And these guys, like, they've got I want to say they're not spots. They're like, because these guys are like pure rage. So they, on their backs, they've got this like a mottled effect, and it's almost like dried lava, if you know what I mean. So where I'm painting these red, all the stuff on their back is going to be a black. And I think it will look pretty cool. But we'll see. And I'm not 100% sure what colours to paint the gold yet. The horns that they've got on their heads are going to be painted like proper horns, because I can do that. But I really don't know about the swords. I'm still undecided what colour to paint the swords. It will probably be a bronze or a gold, but then there's the option of painting it like it's on fire, like to show rage and all that kind of thing, because they're called Hellblades, I believe. So, oh yeah, we will see. I mean, I've got to paint the actual demons yet before I get to the sword. The sword will probably be the last thing I paint. And I could do some blending on it to give it a bit of a fiery effect. But I could also do it to have like a ethereal effect. I know how to do that. But we'll see. We will see. It's all about, at the moment, it's about getting them painted. And I've made a decent start today getting all these shaded. So, and like I said, I'm going to carry on painting while this video is sorting itself out on my laptop. Because all I've got to do is hit some buttons and let it go. So it's not too much effort to actually get it. Because with the sit and paint thingies that I'm doing, I'm not editing these at all. I'm just going to let them play as they are recorded. So yeah, because I find that if I was to start editing these, I'd probably cut out bits of stuff that I've said, and that's not the point of these. The point of these is for me to be just voicing what's in my head, because yeah, that's what started me doing these, is getting the thoughts out of my head and onto camera. And this is still the theory behind this. I know it's taken us a bit of a sidetrack, and it's not about what it used to be. Cause what started me doing this was my depression. But I feel I'm at a stage now. I'm not saying I'm completely free of the depression. There's still things that get me down. But I feel I'm in a stage now where it's not controlling me. So that's good. I'm happy with that. And I think it's helped. I think my blood pressure's better as well. So I think a combination of things, and this is why these aren't about me saying about my depression anymore, because I don't feel like it's something I really need to keep going it back on. And like I see there's other people, like a friend of mine, she lost her dad last year. And there's actually a number of people that have lost family members recently. And I've tried to be a friend. Like, I don't know her too well, but I would like to get to know her better. Like, I've lived around the corner from her for like ever, as far as I know, and we know of each other. But I've been in contact with her a little bit. She's struggling, and having been there, I can see this. I can see depression. I can see the signs and stuff, and like, if I can do stuff to help, I will. Because I think that I'm overcoming it. I'm not anywhere. I haven't beaten it yet, but I'm at the stage now where it's not controlling me anymore. And to be honest, that's what fighting depression is about. Just making sure it's not the defining thing in your life. You know? So that's about my hour. Maybe a bit over or a bit under. But that's me done for the week, I think. So I've not done bad. I've done a fair amount today. I'm hoping to get that turret finished today, but I don't think I will. But thank you very much if you've actually got to this point. I do get views, and I know I get views. And this isn't about ranking up these subscriptions, like the battle reports things, the games that I'm going to be doing will be more pushing this, but these are just me voicing what I need to voice. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it there. I'm going to put these back on my table because they're dry now and I can actually start working on. If you're wondering why this one has a bit of blue tack and the others don't, this is a model I'm going to enter into a painting competition at my gaming club, and it's just generic normal guy from an army, and I'm like, well, let's do my Bloodletters. So thank you very much for watching or listening or just clicking on and clicking off, it's fine. And I will be doing the same thing again next week. It could be Wednesday, could be Tuesday, could be Thursday, we never know, but we'll see. And as always, I'm Gareth, or BigFriendlyWarGamer, or that bloke. You can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter and stuff, or you can find me on YouTube, which is where you found me. So thank you very much for listening, and I will see you soon. Goodbye.